What's up guys, Pro Strat. We're 18, where pros do strats, and we have a cool little A-Rap from Avant-Garde vs FURIA from Stars Series I-League Season 8. What does that even mean? But anyway, basically you're going to be throwing library and spawn arch smokes from alt mid right away, along with a nice smoke that blocks vision from moto to pit. This allows 2 Ts to wrap arch into the A bomb site, while having your other 3 player comes up porch and apps to basically crunch the entire bomb site. Moving on to POVs, we got Vinny up first. He's going to nade into window to try to deny any window peeks, although I'd prefer a molly. He's then going to flash into porch and then run straight into arch with layered flashes from his teammates. Get the kill on the guy Cubby, but died to James op at moto. Yuri's going to be supporting Vinny, and he's going to be essentially throwing flashes for his team. He tries to molly porch off, but misses the Molotov pretty badly, and eventually does get the trade, but dies to the CT that rotated, pushing through the spawn arch smoke. Art's going to be the one throwing the library smoke from alt mid, right here. And from there, he's going to throw a deep flash into arch to blind anyone holding the close corner, where oppers usually hold for any top mid peaks. And then he's going to lurk apartments. And as the lurker, he's going to wait for his team to make contact on a player in balcony or pit, and then swing out, so that it is a basically free trade or a free kill. So here they make contact, and then he tries to swing, but he got a little lost in the sauce in that smoke. Nevertheless, this team ends up getting the kill anyway, so they have the bomb site, and it's a 3v1. Quesarado is going to molly car, and then throw an initial flash from mid to blind any opper trying to pick down mid, and then sets up his smoke that's going to land between default and graveyard that blocks vision from pit into moto. He's then going to throw a little bit of extra utility, make sure no one's porch, and lead the charge up porch to crunch the bomb site. Henny's going to be throwing the other smoke for arch, which is going to land in the spawn arch, where CTs will rotate into arch from. He's then going to hold flashes for his team to go from arch to moto and fight anyone that's, say, pit or mini pit, and more importantly balcony in this round. Unfortunately, the force at arch had died, so this is just a straight up 2 up porch 1 apps hit at this point. So to throw the library smoke, you're going to come into this corner, right in alt mid by the white door. Aim at the bottom of this lamp here. With the same lineup, if you do forward and right and jump throw at basically the entire, all at the same time, you might actually get the smoke that I saw. Yeah, there we go. This is what was thrown in the game. So forward, right, while walking, and jump throw. You're pressing your directional keys and your jump throw all at the same time, which for me is kind of crazy because I gotta hit W, D, space, and N all at the same while holding shift. Jesus. But yeah, that's library smoke. Now for the spawn arch smoke, you're gonna go into the broom here, and then to the left of this lamp here, you're gonna see this wooden thing, and you can aim in the middle of it and then jump throw while standing. You can also aim a bit to the left, but I found that in the middle makes it so that the edge of the smoke is kind of flush with this choke point, which I personally prefer better. So let's throw those 2 smokes together. This is basically phase 1 of the attack, which is going to be the porch hit, or the arch hit letters. English is hard. And you saw layered flashes like this, you know, okay, not like that, but you know, layered flashes to just blind anyone that's holding common positions like this, and you expect them to fall into arch. If you run this round 100 times over, more often than not, you're going to see one guy usually here or maybe even closer up here trying to get a pick. Hopefully will be blind and start selling off, and you know. So Quesarado is going to be throwing the smoke that lands behind default and lands right here. I don't really know what to call this smoke, but you know, here we go. So you want to get into this corner of underpass. Yeah, let's call it underpass. You're gonna aim where this wire meets this roof here, so right about there, and then aim up until you're a decent amount below this corner of the roofing here. So it's this corner where it kind of turns into it. You know what a corner is. So I use my crosshair to line this up and then jump throw. This is a standing jump throw. You'll get something along the lines of this. Now, there is a gap here, but that's totally fine. You'd rather have a gap here close to the graveyard than the gap along default, because if anyone's still alive coming up arch, they're not worried about people pit, they're worried about people mini. And if anyone wants to hold the angle here, they're completely in the open to anyone coming up lane or apps. Whereas if someone was mini pit, they technically could try to catch you in the gap here, and then also be ready to flick over here for anyone porch, and apps is also gonna have a little bit more difficult of a time clearing an angle like this. So I'll do that one more time. This corner of underpass, where the wire meets the roof here, up until right about there-ish. Try to figure out a lineup. I have classic view model on. Maybe there's a lineup you can see here on my hands, but in any case, I use my crosshair to line this up, so you might want to get a feel for it yourself if you want to run the strategy or throw the smoke. Alright, to throw the porch molly. It's a tough one. So I'll try to explain it as best as I can and show it a few times. Hopefully I can get it consistently. I probably won't. But as you run up alt mid with your molly out, you want to keep your crosshair higher, a little bit higher than this little doodad here. So let's pretend I'm running up alt. I'm going to keep my crosshair about at this height. I'm going to keep it there, right? So I'm moving my crosshair ever so slightly up as I run up alt mid. And right when I can hug this wall here on my left is when I'm going to do that. Again, you're keeping your crosshair at this height. And then once you hug the wall is when you can stop adjusting for the height and move your crosshair a bit to the left so that you're inside this wall here, or inside the roof hangover. And then you're gonna jump throw right when you can, probably around the time that the edge of this, or the corner of this wall leaves your screen. So let's try that again. So adjusting, move to the left a little bit. Alright, well, that's almost it. That's kind of it, almost it. Let's try it one more time. So again, let's walk you through it slow. Keep my crosshair a little bit above this thing here. Move to the left so that I hug the wall. Move my crosshair inside the wall, or inside the roof here. And while running, I'm gonna jump throw right when I get the clearance. And yeah, that's the molly. Because it should deny most of these angles here, which is what you want because you want to focus more towards arch. So this is definitely something you want to throw in there if you are an organized team. This is something you gotta drill a lot and a lot and a lot, and not as easy to just suddenly be like, hey, let's do that strategy. You guys remember it? People aren't gonna remember it, trust. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and like the video if you like the video.